A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you all the latest developments that have happened during the weekend that you need to know as we start a brand new week. Let us start the bulletin with the headlines. Today, BJP National Executive Meet concludes in Bhubaneswar. Resolution hails NDA government for its pro-poor policies, urges people to help Prime Minister Modi form the next government as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi comes out strongly against a triple talaq, supports bill to accord constitutional status to the OBC Commission, calls for measures to ensure benefits for socially backward in the Muslim community. Telangana hikes a quota for Muslims, passes bill increasing the quota in jobs and education from 4% to 12%. Mumbai, Chennai and Hyderabad airports on high alert following threats of hijack attempt. Security protocols on par with the arrangements done for the Republic and Independence Day. And Erdogan wins a vote to expand presidential powers in Turkey's referendum. Country's two main opposition parties vow to challenge the result. Well, the two-day national executive meet for the BJP concluded on Sunday evening in Bhubaneswar. Well, among the various takeaways from the meeting were two resolutions. A resolution thanking Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the commission of the OBC bill was passed at the conclave, which hosted top leadership of the party. Another resolution condemned the manner in which Congress and other parties are playing politics in this connection and stalling the bill. Well, the meeting also focused on government schemes for the poor and reiterated party's commitment towards poor. The party described the success of the meet as the love of people of Odisha for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The executive meet also made it clear that the Saffron Brigade is focusing on the 2019 Odisha Assembly elections. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitched the formula of a proactive and pro-people governance and exuded confidence about the NDA government coming to power yet again in 2022. While addressing the meeting, Prime Minister Modi said that the focus of the present dispensation is on Janadhan, Vandhan and Jaldhan. He also expressed his disappointment over the opposition raking up the authenticity of EVM machines.
बीजेपी में ओडिशा में बीजेपी को लाना है, इतना ही बस हमारा।
प्रधानमंत्री के समारोह में जो विचार उन्होंने रखे, उसका सूत्र स्वाभाविक रूप से हमारे इस कार्यकारिणी की थीम अंत्योदय के विचार की थी। अंत्योदय ये हमारे पार्टी का सामाजिक आर्थिक चिंतन है।
प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा है कि 2022 तक की तैयारी अभी से, जब 75 साल ये देश होगा तो 2022 की तैयारी अभी से देशवासियों को करनी चाहिए।
पिछड़े वर्ग आयोग को संवैधानिक दर्जे का दर्जा देने का जो ऐतिहासिक फैसला मोदी सरकार ने किया है, उसके लिए सरकार को बधाई देने वाला और विपक्ष ने जो रुख राज्यसभा में अपनाया है, उसके बारे में टिप्पणी करने वाला प्रस्ताव आज हुआ।
After concluding the BJP's two-day national executive meet in Bhubaneswar on Sunday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a grand welcome at the Surat airport. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Gujarat for a two-day visit. During a roadshow on Sunday evening, he received a grand welcome. Prime Minister has a number of events lined up in his itinerary for today as well. He will inaugurate a multi-speciality hospital at Katargarm and a diamond processing unit at Ichhapur in Surat. In another program, he will lay the foundation stone of various irrigation schemes and also inaugurate a drinking water supply scheme that will benefit the people living in Tapi district. Prime Minister Modi is also expected to visit Silvassa town in Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli, where he will address a gathering. There he will inaugurate government projects and distribute sanction letters to beneficiaries of various government initiatives. Meanwhile, giving a hope to the Muslim women in the country, well, the All India Muslim Personal Board on Sunday raised the issue, saying that the people misusing triple talaq will face a social boycott. The board also emphasized that it had the constitutional right to implement Muslim personal law. Striking a defiant posture on the contentious issue, the board said that a code of conduct for talaq is being issued, which will help to bring out the real picture of Shariat directives. Well, the board reiterated that it would create an awareness to let Muslim women know their rights and deter men from using triple talaq. Meanwhile, the board is issuing appeals to all Maulanas and Imams of the mosques to read out the code of conduct during Friday namaz and emphasize it on its implementation. The board, however, said that it will not tolerate any interference in the Shariat laws and claimed that the majority of Muslims in the country do not want any change in their personal laws. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while addressing the party's National Executive Meet in Bhubaneswar, raised the issue. He said that justice should be done to Muslim women and there should not be any conflict in the Muslim community over this.
प्रधानमंत्री कुछ बात कर ही नहीं रहे तो सिर्फ गोलमोल बात कर रहे हैं। हमने तो वाज़े तौर पर कहा पूरा एक इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हैं कि इस्लाम में क्या तरीक़ा है फैमिली लाइफ के बारे में, और हमने कहा कि आमतौर से जो होना चाहिए अगर इख्तलाफ हो शौहर और बीवी के बीच में तो क्या तरीक़ा इख्तियार किया और वो तरीक़ा बताया है।
एक तरह से देखा जाए तो जितने पर्सनल लॉ हैं इनको रिपील करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि पर्सनल लॉ कभी भी महिलाओं के हक में नहीं है।
जो लोग भी 3 तलाक का गलत इस्तेमाल करते हैं उनका सोशल बायकॉट किया जाए, जिससे कि चंद जो केसेस 3 तलाक के आते हैं वो आना बंद हो जाएं। और अगर किसी को खुदा न खास्ता अपने निकाह के रिश्ते को ख़त्म करना है तो उसके लिए उसको क्या रास्ता इख्तियार करना चाहिए, इसके लिए बोर्ड ने बाकायदा एक कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट जारी किया है।
On to some other news now. Well, counting of votes in the Malappuram by-poll, which was held on 12th of April, will take place today. About 71% voting was recorded in the by-poll for Malappuram Lok Sabha seat in Kerala. The by-poll was necessitated following the demise of former Union Minister and IUML leader E. Ahmed. Congress-led UDF candidate P.K. Kunali Kutir for the Indian Union Muslim League, CPIM's MB Faisal of the ruling LDF and BJP nominee N. Sri Prakash are the main contestants in the fray. In the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, E. Ahmed had won the seat by a margin of 1,94,739 votes against CPIM's P.K. Sambna. News from Jammu and Kashmir now, and the conflict in the valley continues to simmer, with the Jammu and Kashmir police filing an FIR against the army for tying a man to a jeep allegedly as a human shield against protesters. Violence hit the recently held by-elections in Kashmir when the protesters took to the streets and they took on the security forces. According to the state police, the charges being considered against the army include kidnapping and endangering a man's life. The man has been identified as Farooq Ahmed Dar, a resident of Badgam district, and the army unit involved was 53 Rashtriya Rifles. During the investigation, Dar claimed that he was picked up by an army contingent that wanted to enter Birwa village with the polling staff. Well, after the video that went viral and received a widespread condemnation, Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti had sought a detailed report from the state police. The army also began an internal investigation into the incident. There have been spate of incidents involving skirmishes between locals and security forces, including stone pelting incidents, followed by a controversial human shield video that was circulated on the social media. Normal life was affected in the valley due to a strike called by separatists to protest the alleged killing of a 23-year-old man by BSF Jawans in the area. And raking up the Jammu and Kashmir issue on the social media, senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram said that a muscular policy will not resolve the problem. Chidambaram took to Twitter and wrote that every government in Jammu and Kashmir and every government at the centre has responded to the challenge with more warnings, more troops and more laws. While a senior Congress leader Digvijay Singh said that it was important to win over the people of Kashmir who were being killed both by the terrorists and the security forces. He also underlined that things in the valley have deteriorated in the recent past. Now, the Congress's reaction comes in the wake of continued unrest in Kashmir, where the residents and security forces have been at loggerheads. News from the down south, and Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has increased the quota in jobs and education for Muslims from 4% to 12%. At a special session of the Assembly held on Sunday, a hike in quota from 6% to 10% for the scheduled tribes was also part of the same bill. The proposed quota hike takes reservations from the present 50% to 62% in Telangana. The BJP has, however, opposed the move, dubbing it as a communal politics. The BJP has only 5 members in the assembly and they were suspended after they tried to stall the proceedings of the House. Telangana Chief Minister clarified that the reservations were being provided on the basis of socio-economic backwardness and not religion or caste, as some parties claimed in an attempt to mislead people. Well, security at 3 major international airports in Mumbai, Hyderabad and Chennai was stepped up on Sunday. This came after agencies were informed about a possible hijack attempt of an aircraft from these facilities. Officials said that Mumbai police had received an email from a woman that says that she overheard 6 men talking about a possible aircraft hijack attempt at these facilities. Well, a special anti-sabotage sweeps are being undertaken at these airports, and security agencies, including the CISF, are on high alert. The CISF also called in its sniffer dog squads and quick reaction teams for undertaking sanitization drills at these airports. Meanwhile, police are also probing the contents of the email and are trying to get in touch with the sender. Well, citing prevailing the environment, Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi has urged the government to speed up release of funds for timely procurement of paper trail machines so that they can be deployed in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. In a fresh letter to Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, Naseem Zaidi said that the Supreme Court, while hearing a contempt petition, has directed the poll panel to bring on record the approximately time within which the entire system of a voter VVPAT can be introduced. This comes amid opposition parties questioning the reliability of the EVMs and pressing for the deployment of more VVPATs, which dispel doubts about votes cast using EVMs. In Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Spread over an area of 450 square kilometers, the Bandhavgarh National Park is known for its breathtaking array of flora and fauna. Its geographical positioning has gifted a repository of over 250 species of birds and 22 different species of mammals. Though the park is considered as a real home of the Bengal tiger and the white tiger, another star attraction in the national park is a leopard. There are about 40 of these wild cats in the park. Bandhavgarh National Park was a former hunting preserve of the Maharaja of Rewa. The terrain is broken with rocky hill ranges running roughly east-west, interspersed with grassy swamps and forested valleys.
Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
The world's largest delta covered by mangrove forests and vast saline mud flats. Sundarbans, a land of 54 islands, crisscrossed by innumerable tributaries of river Ganga. It is spread in an area of 9,630 square kilometers in India, where 70% is under saline water. With a unique bioreserve, World Heritage Site, a designated tiger reserve, and a plethora of aquatic and terrestrial flora and fauna, Sundarban draws universal attention.
Hampi, the austere, grandiose site, was the capital of the last great Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagar. Enriched by the cotton and the spice trade, Hampi was one of the most beautiful cities of the medieval world. Its palaces and Dravidian temples were admired by Arab, Portuguese and Italian travelers. Built between 1336 to 1570 AD, the city was pillaged over a period of 6 months before being abandoned, and is now one of the most striking ruins of the world.
Mihir Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching The Breakfast News. Well, Nepalese President Bidya Devi Bhandari is on a 5-day visit to India. During her maiden visit, she will meet the senior leadership besides visiting temples in Gujarat and Odisha. This is her first state visit after assuming the office in October 2015. She is visiting at the invitation of President Pranab Mukherjee. Her visit will reflect the priority that India attaches to further strengthening the age-old and unique partnership with Nepal, shared cultural and historical linkages, and strong people-to-people relationship with Nepal. She is expected to meet President Pranab Mukherjee, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. The bilateral ties between the two nations had faced turbulence last year due to the Madheshi agitation and subsequent blockade which halted the supply of essential goods to landlocked Nepal from India.
Honorable Vice President, Home Minister, External Affairs Minister, Finance Minister will call on the visiting dignitary on 18th of April. Honorable President of India will be hosting a state banquet in honor of the visiting dignitary in the evening of 18th. The President of Nepal will also be attending a business event on 18th April. A word on our energy cooperation. I must say that the energy cooperation between our two countries is witnessing a new high with the approval by the Union Cabinet last month, to be precise, the CCEA, on investment of rupees 5,723 crores.
And for more updates from across the country, let's go nationwide. The Odisha police on Sunday arrested a BJD councillor Shubhankar Mohapatra in connection with the violence in Bhadrakova, alleged abusive remarks against Hindu deities on the social media. According to a senior official, the night curfew remained in force even as normalcy has returned to the violence-hit town. The issue of cow protection gets featured in the list of promises made by the BJP in its manifesto for the MCD polls. In the 28-page Sankalp Patra, or the Charter of Commitment, the party promises to work towards protecting cows if it is voted to power in the upcoming MCD polls. The BJP also promises to promote solar lights at slum clusters through Surya Jyoti Yojana. The Delhi unit of the Congress party on Sunday accused the centre of being complacent in taking action against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and others who were indicted by the Shunglu committee. The Delhi unit of President of the Congress party, Ajay Makan, accompanied by various others, observed Maun Vrat at Rajghat to press for the registration of FIR against Arvind Kejriwal. There were reports of fresh fire on Sunday in Mount Abu. The two Mi-17 V5 helicopters of the Indian Air Force resumed the Bambi bucket operation, pouring 53,000 litres of water to douse the wildfire. According to defence spokesperson, a fire around Arna village was reported to be dangerously close to inhabited areas and is being doused on priority. The Met Department has issued a heat wave alert over Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana for the next 3 to 4 days. The department has also issued a thunderstorm warning over Bihar, West Bengal, Assam and Meghalaya. The IMD, however, also predicted heavy rainfall over Andaman Islands during the next 24 hours due to cyclone. On to some international news now. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has narrowly won a referendum to expand presidential powers, which could keep him in office until 2029. With 99.45% of the ballots counted, the Yes campaign had won 51.37% and No 48.63%. And the electoral board called for a victory for Yes. As the jubilant Erdogan supporters rallied in big cities, pots and pans were banged in Istanbul by the opponents of the referendum in a traditional form of protest. After the result, Erdogan said that the clear victory needed to be respected. Erdogan supporters say that replacing the parliamentary system with an executive presidency will modernize the country. However, Turkey's two main opposition parties said that they would challenge the results. Analysts say that Turkey's referendum results will further polarize the country and will pose a challenge to President Erdogan and his party.
Halk oylamasının sonuçlarının ülkemiz ve milletimiz için hayırlı olmasını diliyorum. Milletimiz bir kez daha gerçekten çok müstesna.
It's a very, in fact, a big dilemma of the Turkish society, what we are experiencing. And this polarization is likely to continue because this picture tells that there will be tougher days ahead, politically, sociologically, and it is going to be a not very comfortable environment for the President Erdogan and his AK Party to continue their rule. So we will see this division within the Turkish society and its reflections on the political arena in the coming days and weeks ahead.
News from the Middle East now, and activists say that at least 68 children were among the 126 people who were killed in Saturday's bomb attack on buses carrying evacuees from besieged Syrian towns. A vehicle filled with explosives hit the convoy near Aleppo on Saturday. with the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights saying that at least 109 evacuees from the government-held towns were killed, along with aid workers and rebel soldiers. The explosion has shattered buses and set cars on fire, leaving a trail of bodies as the convoy waited in rebel territory near Aleppo. The evacuees attacked were being moved from Fouala and Kefraya, which are mostly Shia Muslim government-held towns which have been encircled by rebels and jihadists since March 2015. The planned evacuation was part of the 4 towns deal where thousands of civilians in towns under siege by the sides would be allowed to leave. No group has claimed responsibility for the bus attack. In his Easter Sunday address, Pope Francis called the bombing a vile attack on fleeing refugees.
Si fa compagno di strada di quanti sono costretti a lasciare la propria terra a causa di conflitti armati, di attacchi terroristici, di carestie, di regimi oppressivi.
And on to sports news now. Well, promising Indian shuttler P. Sai Praneeth clinched his maiden Super Series title at the Singapore Open after defeating compatriot K. Srikanth in a historic All-India final on Sunday. The two players dished out an engaging opening game before Praneeth staged a remarkable comeback to dominate the proceedings. World number 30 Praneeth, who had won the Canada Open Grand Prix last year and also reached the Syed Modi Grand Prix Gold Final this year, outmaneuvered Srikanth by 17-21, 21-17, 21-12 in the summit clash of the event. It was the first time in the history of international badminton that the two Indians were playing a Super Series final. Before that, only 3 nations, China, Indonesia and Denmark, had 2 of their shuttlers playing in the final of a Super Series event. And with this, we come to an end of this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.